Hello and welcome back to Mr. Kumadu Maths. In this video, we are going to have a look at how to differentiate trigonometric functions. We did one example in our previous video, and this is the second example we want to do. The question we have is y equals sec x, and we want to find dy dx. To differentiate this, we write this function y to be equal to sec x. By definition is the same thing as 1 over cos x. So to differentiate this, since this is a fraction, we need to use our quotient rule. We need to apply our quotient rule on this. If you haven't watched the video on quotient rule, you can watch the video that I've done on quotient rule and apply it here. But in brief, we said the quotient rule was given as u over v, where u and v are functions of x. So if we want dy dx, that's simply going to be holding the denominator constant and differentiating the numerator. Then we have minus holding the numerator constant and differentiating the denominator, dv, and all of that over v squared. So this is what we said in brief about the quotient rule. So here, our dy ds is equal to, we hold the denominator constant, so we have cos x, and we differentiate the numerator. Numerator is constant, so when you differentiate 1, if you like, we can write around like so. Then we have a takeaway. So then we have a takeaway. We differentiate now the denominator of cos x, so we hold the numerator constant, so 1 is held constant, and we have ddx of cos x. And we have all of this divided by the denominator squared, in this case is cos squared x. And here in the numerator, if we differentiate the constant, that's 0, so we are going to have 0 times cos x, so that's just going to be 0. We have take away 1 times differentiating cos x is going to be negative sin x, and there's a negative already here, so we're going to have plus sin x, and we have all of this over cos squared x. This will simply give us sin x over cos squared x, which we can write as sin x over cos x as a fraction, and we times it by 1 over cos x. And here you can understand why we've done this, because if we have two fractions to times, numerators will times together, sin x times 1 will give us sin x, denominators will times together, cos x times cos x will give us cos squared x. However, we can then say sin x times 1 is simply sin x, as we saw before, but sin x over cos x will just give us tan x, and 1 over cos x will give us sec x. So we can write this as tan x sec x. So that means differentiating our function y with respect to x, our final answer for our dy dx, we can write it as dy dx is equal to, then we have our tan x times by our sec x. So we get this as our final answer. Okay, so this is what you get when you differentiate sec x. Your answer is simply going to be tan x times sec x. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do like the video, type in your comment for me, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'll be pleased if you subscribe. Thank you, and see you in our next video. Bye-bye.